Making your own hot sauce is easier than you might think, but making it taste amazing requires the freshest ingredients. And there is no fresher way to get your ingredients than to pull them right out of your own garden. In this video, I'm going to show you what to grow so you can make the best tasting hot sauce you have ever had. And I'll share my favorite varieties of peppers to use, what tomatoes I like, and some of the herbs and seasonings I like to grow as well. First off, you need to grow some chili peppers. The foundation of any great hot sauce is the selection of peppers used, since they will impact not only the heat level, but the main flavor profile as well. I like to grow a mix of sweet, mild, and very hot peppers in my garden, so that I have options to balance the heat level and sweetness. For sweet and mild peppers this year, I'm growing a range of types, but here are some of the ones that I'm most looking forward to using for hot sauce. Starting off with the Bosc pepper. The Bosc pepper, also known as the Espelete pepper, is a Spanish variety with a tiny bit of heat and a fantastic flavor. They're good producers of 4 to 6 inch long red peppers that have an almost berry-like fruity sweetness and tend to max out at about 4,000 Scoville heat units, similar to a jalapeno. I find the flavor on these to be perfect in hot sauce, especially if I give them about 30 to 45 minutes of low heat on the smoker. It really brings out some richness. I'm also growing one of my favorite nearly heatless peppers this year, and that is the Hangzhou No. 1, also known as the Corona space pepper. This is one of the Chinese Hangzhou space pepper varieties that grow huge, delicious, nutrient-rich peppers after the original seeds were sent into orbit and exposed to space radiation years ago by the Chinese scientists. These pack almost no heat, but they have a very sweet, bright flavor that is perfect for hot sauce. They're also huge peppers with thick flesh, which is great for bulking up a hot sauce. I'm also going to grow Ghost Dropping, which is a pepper I created that has nearly no heat. It puts out a ton of these little 1 to 2.5 inch long pepper pods that have a sweet and tart flavor that I think will be a fantastic way to cool down a spicy sauce. For some of the hotter peppers, I do have over 150 varieties I plan to grow this year, so I'll have some options. The ones I'm most looking forward to using for hot sauce, however, are Ají Chinchi Amarillo. This is a smaller, faster fruiting version of the famous Ají Amarillo pepper. Now, I like this variety over the traditional Ají Amarillo because of my shorter growing season, but if you have a long summer, maybe try regular Ají Amarillos. These pack a decent punch of spiciness. They've got a fantastic fruity flavor and a bright yellow-orange color that I think looks really good in hot sauce. I'll also be growing a few varieties of habanero and ghost peppers this year to help bring that heat level up in my sauces. I chose some white habaneros and white ghost peppers because I think they'll help to create an awesome bright color when mixed in with red or orange peppers for making hot sauce. And of course, they are very, very hot. There are so many amazing pepper varieties that you can grow at home. I recommend looking for a balance of heat levels and colors to give you a lot of options when making hot sauce. I'll leave a link below to some of my favorite places to get pepper seeds and a few of my favorite varieties as well. So we have chili peppers. What else do we need to grow for a great hot sauce? Well, I highly recommend growing some type of cherry or grape tomatoes. While many hot sauces do not feature tomatoes at all, I have found that when roasted or smoked, fresh cherry tomatoes can kick a sauce up from good to extraordinary. Why cherry varieties though? Well, instead of full-size slicing tomatoes, I find that cherry tomatoes are better to use in hot sauce for a few reasons. First, they tend to have a more pronounced sweet flavor when grown at home. Typically, a bold, bright flavor is ideal for making an impact on the overall flavor of your sauce, and they also take on smoke and roasting flavors more quickly than larger tomato varieties with thicker flesh. I like to blend multiple colors and flavors of tomatoes in my sauces, so having a few varieties of, say, micro dwarf cherry tomatoes is my cheat code to having lots of options without using up lots of space. This year, I'm growing Dr. Carolyn white tomatoes as an indeterminate cherry. These are great producers. They have a nice kind of lower acidic flavor that I like in my hot sauce, and I'm also growing dozens of micro dwarf varieties. The ones I look forward to using most in hot sauce are the House micro dwarf tomatoes because they put out a great number of red, delicious cherry tomatoes, as well as the Balcony ELO or Balcony ELO, which is a very productive yellow cherry micro dwarf, and it has one of the best tasting candy sweet flavors I've ever found in a tomato. But really, there are just dozens and dozens of varieties of awesome cherry tomatoes and micro-dwarf tomatoes out there. I will leave some links below to where I like to purchase my tomato seeds and a few of my favorite varieties as well. So if you want to copy what I'm growing, you can. So those are the two biggest ingredients you'll need to grow, but the secret to great hot sauce is in the seasonings and the herbs. I always grow my own garlic. Garlic is easy to grow, but it does take some planning. I plant hardneck garlic varieties in late October for my climate, and I harvest them usually around July or August of the following year. Roasted garlic is a crucial ingredient for making delicious hot sauce. I recommend you try out some varieties like Russian Red or Music if you're gonna grow hardneck garlics, because they're easy to grow and their flavor profile works really good in a hot sauce. Besides garlic, you should grow cilantro, also known as coriander. Cilantro is a refreshing and classic flavor in Mexican foods for a good reason, because it pairs really well with peppers and tomatoes. I grow a few plants of cilantro every year, usually vertically in my green stalk garden, because it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it's so nice to be able to run out and grab fresh cilantro on Taco Tuesday in the summertime. It also is a key ingredient in hot sauce for me. I also grow oregano each year. It's pretty easy to grow and it'll taste much better than store-bought dried oregano. I get my oregano seeds usually from Baker Creek, and that's the one I'll be growing this year. It is the Wild Zatar variety. I like to grow them in raised beds or in my vertical planter like the green stalk. Oregano, it's really just a classic flavor for lots of Mexican and Italian dishes, so you should grow some. It adds a nice spicy note on top of a hot sauce recipe that's hard to beat. So those are the core things I grow every year to make sure that I have the ingredients for incredible hot sauces. But one other tip, you should grow some strawberries or other types of berries or fruits that you can have on hand for when you want to make a sweet heat type of hot sauce. I find the pairing of fresh fruits with your hot peppers is really one of the best ways to make a hot sauce that will blow your top off. So start seeds for all of these if you are a gardener. You will be so happy at harvest time when you whip together the greatest tasting hot sauce you have ever had. But how do you make hot sauce? Watch this video over here while I walk through how to make a fantastic tasting hot sauce that uses most of these ingredients. Or watch this series of videos over here where I share all of my favorite hot sauce recipes and teach you how you can make them at home. So go get your garden planned and planted, and you'll be enjoying a spicy hot sauce before you know it. And never forget, plants help us grow.